Hi, Eagles. Welcome to Wednesday. Hopefully, you have already read your 10 minutes of SSR and that you've all actually read something. I have since finished my next book, so I am on to a new series. I'll let you know how it goes as soon as I get into it. But today, you are going to do something a little bit different. So, last week I handed out your paper assignment, and I told you that we were going to spend this week working on evidence, compiling evidence, and then we will be creating our thesis statements as a class. So what you are going to do is I've broken you up into groups. These are the groups. I will post it on the board for you. These are the groups that you'll be working with today. There are 5 different groups, and in your groups you are going to compile all pieces of evidence that you can find that talk about power. Okay, so we've done this once before. We started compiling where we see in the novel instances of some sort of power struggle or where there's a power play or anything along those lines. Where do we see the discussion, an example of power? So for the rest of class, you are going to get into your group and you are going to compile one Google Doc. On the Google Doc, I want you to list every single example that you can find regarding power. I also want you to make sure that you are citing correctly. So on the sheets last week when we worked on our carousel, I saw some really great examples of correct in-text citation, but I also noticed that some of you are putting commas between the author's last name and the page number. That is not correct formatting. So make sure that you are using correct formatting, that the period comes at the end, and that you are citing Golding and not Goldkind. Once you have compiled your list of evidence examples of power, you are then going to talk amongst your group and try and figure out what Golding is trying to say about power. Based on all of these examples, what does he need us to know? Okay. Sometimes we teach writing backwards, where you create your thesis statement and then you go back and try and find information, evidence to support that claim. That's not actually how evidence and claims are made. For example, if this were a crime scene, right? You walk into a crime scene, the crime scene technicians don't say, oh, I think it's so-and-so that did whatever, and let's find evidence to do that. They do it the opposite way. They look at the crime scene, they pick up all of the evidence, and then they sift through it. They call different information out. They figure out, does this make sense? Is this part of it? What does this prove to me? So that is what you are doing. You've combined and collected all of your evidence, and now you are going to call through it and try and figure out what Golding is trying to say about power. And that is where your thesis statement comes from. So after you compiled all your evidence, please, at the bottom of your Google Doc, I want you to write 3 different claim statements, okay? Answering the question, what does Golding need us to know about power, okay? Things that I need you to remember as well. You are working in groups. So the first thing I would like you to do is make sure that all of your desks are facing each other. To be good group members, you need to know each other. So you should be working with some new group members. Please introduce yourself. I know we're now a couple months in, but please make sure you're introducing yourself. And then once you have done that, share the Google Doc, and everyone should be working within that. So things that you should have out are your computer with your Google Doc open, only your Google Doc open, your novel, so have Lord of the Flies out, and a writing utensil. Those are 3 things you need. There's nothing else that needs to be on your desk. Your phone doesn't need to be there. Okay, you don't need to have other tabs open. We are just working in our Google Doc today. Once you are in your Google Doc, once you are working, please make sure that everybody is participating. Okay, the team only works if everybody is participating. So make sure that everybody is adding to the conversation, is adding to that doc. If you have any questions, you can not ask me because I'm not there, but you can email me. I will have my computer, but at the end of class today, I do expect to have at least 3 claim statements from each of your groups. If you've culled it down to 1, great. Otherwise, 3 works. Please make sure at the end of class that you send that to me via Google Classroom, and I will give you some sort of feedback. Okay? Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.